In today's FX markets, let's take a look at the Australian dollar as it's experiencing some selling pressure today. Australian dollar is coming off nearly a 1-month high in the previous session to trade lower today. And with today's price action, we're seeing it down about 0.5% currently, right around the 636 level, which is near the low end of the range for today's levels, as the markets are giving up some ground here after reaching basically a 1-month high. And when you look at some of the driving factors today, a couple things I think influencing the market, and it's basically central bank driven. We have the Fed announcement tomorrow, highly anticipated Fed announcement. Expectations are they are not going to shift rate policy in this meeting, but potentially enunciate how they're viewing policy moving forward. The market is pricing in a high probability of a cut here in the next couple of months. Couple that with the RBA basically discussing policy here the last several days and indicating that they are not so convinced that cutting in the future is something that's in the cards right now. They're still a little hesitant about potential cuts moving forward as they're still seeing some shifting dynamics in their economic structure, particularly when it comes to inflation and also other central bank policies. So I think that's one of the factors today is really central bank driven as to why we're experiencing a little bit of selling pressure here in the Australian dollar. Now, when you look at the general trends, Australian dollar is trading near that 1-month high that we did see in February. But you look at it from a longer term perspective, we did make lows in January, and those are almost 5-year lows that we're coming off of. So we're really not that far off those lows. So when you look at it from a longer term perspective, the Australian dollar is trading at some of the lowest levels here over the last 4.5 to 5 years, even though it's coming off those levels here over the last month or two. Now, looking at the FX quadrant as a whole today, pretty much price action is pretty subdued going into this Fed announcement tomorrow. We're seeing the euro slightly higher, but basically British pound, the Japanese yen flat on the day. Really, when you look at it from a relative strength standpoint in today's price action, it's the Australian dollar that is experiencing the heaviest selling pressure. But again, coming off of those recent levels, which are basically 1-month levels, so giving up a little bit of ground today. But again, that shifting dynamic could certainly take a different tack tomorrow after the Fed announcement is digested in the market.